Hello everyone who's watching this video, you're maybe watching this video at the age of like 14, 15, 16, 17, whatever age it is, but, you gotta realize that you're not a kid anymore, okay? You're not a kid anymore. Stop waiting for that day. Stop waiting for that day when you realize that you're an adult and you have to lock in, Stop mourning about the past, You gotta realize that your time, there's a timer right now in your life. It's ticking down slowly and slowly and slowly. And you've been through so many years already of your life. And you don't know when it's gonna end, okay? And you're not a kid anymore, You gotta learn how to move on. You gotta learn how to heal out of difficult situations, You gotta learn from the past. You gotta heal from the past. You can't stay in the past, though. You can't stay in the past when you were a kid and you thought everything was careless, because those days are over, When you were a kid, going out with your friends, realizing that school doesn't matter right now, that you don't have a job, you gotta realize that those days are over. I know you had fun. I know you had fun going with your friends, But those days are over, man. They're so far ago, And it's time to do something. It's time to do something. I'm not saying that you have to do everything, you have to focus on school the whole time, I'm saying that I want you to have fun now. I want you to have fun, but you have to realize it's getting serious. It's getting to a point where you shouldn't play games anymore. You go out and live life. Go out when you're a teenager. Have fun with your friends, Go out and enjoy nature. Get off that video game, Move from the past, Because I've been going through a breakup right now, and I felt like I wasn't able to move on, I wasn't able to move on my past. All I could think about is her. All I could think about was the moments I had with her. I was dwelling on the past so much that I couldn't focus on the future. It's been almost 2 weeks, but now I've realized that my time is ticking down. I'm 16. I realized that right now, the time I have right now is precious. I'm enjoying it because I love making these videos, I hope one day I can grow big, but I'm gonna keep trying. I'm never gonna give up, But the thing is, I never had motivation, I realized, I kept saying that, like, oh, I'll start tomorrow, I'll do these things tomorrow, I never did. And when we broke up, I felt like I never would. But when I thought about it, I was thinking about, oh, I should do it. I did it. I had more in the past. I didn't say I have time, because you have time, but you don't have time at the same time, You realize that time moves fast, but time also moves slow. You have time, but you don't also have time, Realizing that contradict is just important in life, knowing that you have time to be somebody. You have time to be somebody that you want, but you don't have time. It's saying that you're gonna wait your whole life for that one moment to pop up, because it's not gonna pop up, okay? You're waiting for that one moment where you just feel like, eureka, I'm gonna start a business. You're waiting for that one moment to start now. Okay, no matter how hard it is, because you don't know where to start. That's the problem. You don't know where to start. But find a way to start, because I always want to start a business, and I started my business, I'm starting it. I'm trying to do my best right now, because at least I started it, and that's what makes me happy, because I had no motivation. My girlfriend broke up with me, and that just made me feel worse. I didn't have the motivation. I wasn't motivated because of that. I maybe feel so much worse, but I just did it because I knew that this is my dream, and if I don't start now, I'm never going to start, So you gotta start. You gotta stop this BS with motivation stuff, okay? Just do it. Anyways, I know it's hard. Whatever you're going through, it's hard. You're going through a lot of stuff right now, but you can't let that drag you down. You can't let it drag you down. You gotta move on. You gotta focus on the future. You gotta focus on moving on instead of staying in the same spot, you know, because God didn't put you on this earth to stay in this spot. Your mom didn't force you out of her stomach just to, for 9 months straight, just to make you stay in your spot, stay in the same spot, okay? You gotta move on. Because, you know, you have one life. Life is way too short to just be dwelling about the past, to be sad, you know. Put that happy mood, put that happy face on every day, you know. Keep the positive mood, you know. Even if you're sad, because I always go to school, like, the past couple weeks, like, I've been just going to school, I've been just putting on the saddest face because I miss my girlfriend so much. I miss her so much, you know. And I just wish that, and I just wish the whole day I can just come home and just cry, you know. But then I realized, but I started feeling so much better when I came to school with a happy face, you know, with a smiling and jolly mood. I could make people laugh, I could talk to people, say, hey, how you doing, you know, saying stuff like that, you know. Being myself, and that truly makes me feel alive. That truly makes me feel like I'm worth living, you know. And, you know, if you don't know what to do, you know, just you have time, but don't waste that time just procrastinating, saying, I'll wait till tomorrow. Do it now, okay? Think about how much time you have right now. Think about how much time you spend your reason on playing video games, you know. So obviously, I'm not telling you, have fun, but man, you gotta learn how to lock in, okay? You gotta learn how to put the controller down, put the computer down for a second. Just think about your life. Think about your life for like 30 minutes. Just think about what you want to do. It might not take 30 minutes. It might take longer than that. But you gotta spin it out. You gotta think about what you want to do. Because I figured out what I want to do. I figured out that this is my dream, you know. Even though I have a lisp, which makes it really hard to talk sometimes. I have Pectus scavenum, which presses down my throat every time I talk, you know. I have a bunch of things. I have asthma, you know. I have things like this that can help. That stop me from talking to my max potential. But I still do it because this is my dream, you know. This is my dream. Start a YouTube channel, you know. Being a therapist, helping people out, making the world a better place, you know. This is what I want to do. I'm not gonna stop because I don't care what people say. I don't care what people say on the social media. If they say, you know, you gotta go to college, you gotta start a business, you gotta do things to be successful. You don't, man. Because what's the point of living life if it's not meaningful to you? If it's not meaningful in a way that what you want to do, where you listen to the public, don't let them control your life. Do what you want, you know. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how much yachts you have. It doesn't matter how much private jets you have. It matters if you're happy, you know. It matters if you're happy. Because I would love to come to work as a therapist and just help people talk about their day, you know. Because that's what I like to do. You know, I've always had the dream about being a dentist or orthodontist because they make so much money. But what's the point if I'm not happy, you know? That's not what I want to do. I want to be happy. And that thing, you know, I know it's hard to find what you really want to do, but you gotta stop looking at the past. You gotta stop looking back at the past, you know. You gotta stop looking at the past and saying, what went wrong? You gotta stop looking at the past and saying, oh, I should have started. Then just start now. What's stopping you? What is stopping you? Okay. You know, I'm still struggling, you know. I moved from the past, you know, I'm moving on with my breakup and healing. It's really been really hard. I almost took my life the other day because I couldn't take it. But now I'm doing fine, you know. I still dream about her every day, every night, even though I try not to, you know. I remove her on social media now because I moved on from the past, you know. I moved on because I learned from my mistakes, you know. Because I learned that when I stalk her, I feel worse. So do you know what I did? I removed her on social media, you know. And when I look at my desk and shit, like I see a bunch of photos of her, you know. I removed that from my desk too, you know. I'm learning from my mistakes and moving on from the past. You know, no one's perfect. I'm not being perfect. I'm not perfect, you know. You're not perfect. I'm not telling you to be perfect. I'm telling you to be this version of yourself that is better every day. Step by step, even though it's a million steps to get to heaven, you know, step by step, you know. God works slow, but you can't waste it. You can't waste it by working too slow, okay? Don't wait for that moment. Don't stop waiting for that time. Just do it. Stop dwelling about the past. Stop thinking about what would have happened if, because that's already gone. You can't go back. If you went back, you know, stop thinking about what would you do if you went back, because you can't go back. And you're thinking about that too much. You're thinking about what I could have done, you know. But just think about what you could do right now. Think about what's your dream, you know. Maybe your dream is starting a business. Start that business, you know. Maybe your dream is becoming a pro in boxing, you know, because that's what my dream was. And you know, I did good, you know. I was a good boxer, you know. I fought very well, and I won some tournaments, and and I felt accomplished. I didn't want to keep going from there because I didn't want to fight anymore. I turned Christian. I didn't want to fight. I wanted to show people that I truly care about them. Even though it was my dream to be a pro boxer, you know. So, but like, I trust God in my life. I didn't want him to see me hurting people, you know. So I wanted to do this, which could help me, help people, because that's what I want to do in life, you know. It doesn't matter what people say on the internet. It doesn't matter what people do to be successful, because success only comes from what you think success is, you know. Because it doesn't matter. Because like, it doesn't matter if you went to a 5-star hotel, you know. But if you prefer like a small Airbnb, you know, that's maybe what you want, and you shouldn't let people control your mind of that. Because if you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it, say no. Learn how to say no. Stop accepting it. Okay? Okay. Peace out. Good luck. I hope today is the day you start, or if it's really late at night, get some rest. You earned it. Get some rest and start tomorrow. Okay? Stop looking back at the past. Stop telling yourself there's always tomorrow. Just do it. Just do it.